And we welcome you to another edition of This Is Wrestling. It is the WrestleDream AEW preview show. Lee Versage and Hornsey. Zach McGibbon. Zach, how are you?
Doing pretty good, Lee. Yeah, we're back here talking everything about AEW WrestleDream coming up this weekend, and quite the card we've got here as I am scrolling through and seeing all the matches, so looking forward to breaking this one down.
I think it might be the first or second or third or fourth or fifth show in a row that the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand is what they call them now, are wrestling.
Yes.
Because I haven't seen it.
You want more, Lee. You want more. You're going to get it on Dynamite. You're going to get it in person in Toronto, and you're going to get it on pay-per-view again here at WrestleDream.
What I'm going to get is FTR on the preview show.
Yep. But you get the Hurt Syndicate on the main show.
Right.
And look, you might get FTR on the pre-show and you might get the Hurt Syndicate on the main show, but the biggest thing you got to remember,
feel like I know where this might be going,
is that they hurt people, Lee. And that's what truly matters at the end.
Well, it is.
That's the quickest I've gotten that in on the podcast, so.
Well, it just
right at the start.
Teed it right up. It's like you had jet speed getting
there you go.
Okay.
Very good. Oh, we're already off to a fiery start here for this WrestleDream preview.
Yeah. Are we? Here's what I don't need. I don't need these preview shows having the same type of matches. The fact that FTR is on the preview show against Jet Speed, I don't even understand at all. Mm-hmm. And I also don't understand. It's like, hey, remember that women's match that we put on the preview show that was one of the biggest catastrophes that I've seen live in a long time?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that street fight or whatever it was called, the brawl there.
The tailgate.
Yes, that was a cluster.
But that's what they're doing it again. They're calling it the tailgate thing again.
Yeah. Well, the show is being called the Tailgate Brawl or something like that, so.
Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford on the preview show.
Yep.
We're going to get the conglomeration, whether you include Roderick Strong there or not, in it, against the Death Riders. So this one for me is like, I could see some of these matches on the pay-per-view, but then they're on the preview show. But then there's a couple of matches on the pay-per-view. I'm like, why aren't those on the preview show? Like Jamie Hayter and Thekla. Like the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand. All right, let's talk about the Hurt Syndicate and the Demand. You talk about a train wreck. Whatever they had on Dynamite was one of the worst things I've seen in a long time.
Oof.
Just 6 guys not really knowing what they're doing and going out there and hitting each other with trash cans and kendo sticks, and it was an absolute train wreck of a match.
Trying to put a guy through the table as well, and
couldn't do it. And then I got a good idea. Let's put this on pay-per-view again.
That's right. We already did the gimmick match, Lee. Why not make it a tornado match?
I have a hard time with this one. Especially because did I just not watch the Demand beat the Hurt Syndicate on Dynamite again?
You did.
Oh my God.
No. But it's not pay-per-view, Lee, and the Hurt Syndicate need their win back.
But they just got it on the previous Dynamite.
Well, they need it again.
They need it again. They lost again, yeah.
Lee, they hurt people. They need to win again.
But they hurt people in this street fight.
That's right.
And they won, and they came out like in suits, and they kind of tore them off, and they look stupid. Anyway, I don't know why this match is on, and I don't know why we're starting with it, but I'm starting from the ground up, and I'm trying to get rid of this one. So I'm going to pick the Hurt Syndicate, and I hope it goes 4 minutes.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to go 4 minutes in a Tornado Trios match, Lee. What chaos could brew in a Tornado Trios match? I don't know. I've also got the Hurt Syndicate winning because, Lee, they hurt people.
They hurt people. Jamie Hayter against Thekla. I don't mind the way they've built Thekla up. I would be surprised if Jamie Hayter beat Thekla at this point. The way that they've built Thekla up as the leader of the Triangle of Madness.
Yes.
Yeah. And they've actually pushed her, I think, properly as the leader, and she's won some big matches clean, or she's got the pin in those matches clean. I don't know why you take it away from her right now. So, of course, Jamie Hayter will win, but I think Thekla should win, and I think Thekla will win, but that means she probably won't.
I was gonna say I was surprised you were picking Jamie Hayter, and then I think you switched there. So I'm picking Thekla as well to win in this one. I think she's the one that's kind of on the ascent here and trying to set her up as a challenger again. So I'm gonna pick Thekla as well.
So those are the two matches I'm not really into all that much. The rest of the card, I could get into a lot.
Yep.
So let's talk about the return of Jurassic Express, which we saw in Toronto, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus going up against the Young Bucks. And the winners are going to get $500,000. Zach, we've seen all of these matches on Dynamite where they're like 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever they are.
Yep.
And then we've seen the money gimmick with the fact that the Young Bucks got $500,000 and then lost it at the casino. So I'm here for the explanation, but explain it to me why this is a good thing to have this match worth $500,000.
I was gonna make a double or nothing joke, but this is not the pay-per-view to make that joke.
Okay.
So unfortunately, can't make that joke. I was gonna say maybe they're going all in here, Lee, but again, I can't make that joke either because it's not the right pay-per-view.
They were all out a couple of weeks ago with money.
That's true. They were all out of money, as you mentioned. So I was trying to think of the different puns that they could do. I am shocked that Happy Corbin isn't the special guest referee in this match. He is somebody that knows about losing money at the casino and trying to, rebuild himself after losing all of his money. That was some prime Vince era stuff there, Happy Corbin. Yeah, they've really been running this gimmick with the Bucks now for a while. I was calling this out earlier on, and of course I was told, just enjoy the ride, Zach. Enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the story while it lasts, because I think even they knew that this was probably going to be overdone at some point, and I'm kind of feeling fatigued of this story of the Bucks not having money. And obviously now you got Jurassic Express in the mix here. So I'm not as enthralled with the stipulation. I think this match will be really good. I have no doubt that the Bucks will go out there and deliver a great match in there. And for all we say about Jack Perry, and a lot of it is correct when it comes to him, I do think some of his best work has been in Jurassic Express with Luchasaurus, and I think this is where he could thrive here. And the Bucks, they like Jack Perry quite a bit, and I think they'll make him look good. So I think the match is going to be good. I'm going to pick the Bucks to get the $500,000, but not for any sort of logic or anything like that. I think it's going to be one of those, we've got the money again, so we could have new ways to lose it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't love the stipulation here at all.
Yep.
But I guess I'm willing to see and enjoy the ride and willing to see where it goes.
Yep.
It would make more sense to me with Jurassic Express just getting back together that they would get the win over a very formidable, I still think the Young Bucks are the best tag team in the world right now. Every time I see them perform in a big spot, they overachieve and do even more than I thought, or they don't overachieve. They supersede my expectations. So I know it's going to be good because they're in it. I wouldn't love if Jurassic Express lost they just got back together and now they're in their first big match together and then they lose. It's like, So would it be a better storyline if Jurassic Express got the $500,000 and kind of rubbed it in their faces a little bit?
Yep.
And use that money in a storyline to make the Bucks even worse.
I can see that angle too.
Yeah, I say yes because logic tells me that Jurassic Express just back together should not lose already.
Yep.
So I am going to pick Luchasaurus and Jack Perry.
There you go.
As we continue here, I mean, the injury, we've seen some injuries. We should talk about Ibushi here a little bit, but we saw an injury to Hologram, and that derailed where Kyle Fletcher was going to go. And now they've circled back to Mark Briscoe, who is coming off that big win against MJF. So Mark Briscoe goes up against Kyle Fletcher. I'm going to pick Fletcher to retain. I think it helps Fletcher even more that Briscoe beat MJF, and now he's going to beat Briscoe. But this is another one that I think my expectations are actually pretty high. I'm very excited about this match because Mark Briscoe makes a lot of people look good. Kyle Fletcher doesn't need many people to make him look good.
I agree. And this was also, if you go back to, I believe it was a pay-per-view with these two faced off against each other. And I remember saying at the time, I think it was Dynasty earlier this year, where these two was like, I think this was a sneaky, underrated, great match. Not a lot of people were talking about that. I remember when we did that review of the match, we were like, this was a great match. These two have great chemistry with each other. So I'm looking forward to this to see if they could build upon that and get people reminded of, yeah, these two could go out there and work with each other. So, you know, like what you mentioned, I think there were some roadblocks put in that way that prevented, you know, Kyle the Protostar Fletcher from being able to defend his title.
Don't get your crap in on me now. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
You can get your own stuff in. You're not going to get paid performances in.
Okay.
On me.
Okay? This one wasn't a paid performance this time. This was just on my own volition.
That's why I'm cutting it off. Okay, you get your own stuff in. You don't get other people's stuff in. Okay.
Yes. But I'm also picking Fletcher to retain. I think this could be a sneaky great match based on what we saw last time these two faced off at Dynasty earlier this year.
Chris Statlander. Somebody called for her to win the championship. I can't remember who that was. Oh, it was me. Right.
Yes.
Picked her out of the blue, and she wins. Now she's going to face Timeless Tony Storm. They've had some certainly interesting promos. I love the fact that they have gone about this differently than any program I've seen. They're lying in the ring next to each other. It was kind of weird. They're in these different situations with each other, and to me it makes Chris Statlander look like she's on the same level or maybe even a bit above Tony Storm, which is amazing. They've been a little odd still for me, but if the goal is to put Statlander at that same level, I think that they've accomplished it from what they've done after she beat Tony Storm. So I'm looking forward to this match. I think Chris Statlander is going to retain, but I actually don't know. So they could go either way with this one, but I am going to pick Statlander in a match I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. It's been a little too cutesy for me. I'm not hating it or anything like that. It's kind of pushing it out for me a little bit. But like what you mentioned, it is kind of putting it at a different angle, and I like that idea of, you know, doing it this way because it in a weird way puts Statlander on the same level as Tony Storm, and when you're trying to elevate somebody. I'm also picking Statlander to retain here. I think this title reign is just the title reign is young, and I think this is just to kind of give her the big singles win over Tony Storm before they continue on with the matches. So I'm also picking Statlander to retain.
Brodido against Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke. Call me the IWGP champion, Takeshita. going for the tag team gold against Brodito. So we should talk a little bit first, very quickly, just to kind of set the match up about what Takeshita has done beating Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Are you at all surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. I thought this was the plan that they were going with when he initially won the G1, that it would eventually lead to him main eventing the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom. So I'm not shocked about this at all. I think they wanted a name to kind of carry the belt and somebody different. The way that they've pushed him in New Japan has been a little awkward because they're trying to say he's a New Japan guy because he has a contract there, but he's also an outsider, but he's also pushed as a babyface, but he gets heel reactions in Japan. It's very weird that's going on there, but all that to say, I'm not surprised. I think it's culminating with something at the Tokyo Dome for that title.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. Where do you think Zack Sabre Jr. ends up?
Well, I would have told you that it would have been a great opponent for Aaron Wolf there, the guy that's debuting New Japan, and they're hoping in Japan there that he's the big star that they think he could be based off of his Olympic credentials and the popularity he already has there. And he would have been a good first opponent against him with meshing some of that judoka background that Wolf has. But it is not that, Lee. It is my favorite professional wrestler, Evil, that Aaron Wolf is taking on. Nothing says showcase match like taking on Evil, as you know. So that's kind of thrown it out the window for me of what Zack Sabre Jr. would be doing. So now I'm kind of unsure of where he could fall and where he could go. He could face one of the Young Lions, perhaps. Maybe he goes against like a Yota Tsuji or somebody like that, and you have one of the Young Lions beat a former IWGP champion. And they try to push other guys, but again, New Japan hasn't really shown a consistent attempt to push somebody into the top in terms of their three guys there. So I'm kind of unsure of where they're going with Zack Sabre Jr. at this point.
So let's get back to AEW. The storyline makes sense for Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita to be AEW tag team champions. They don't necessarily get along. Takeshita now with that championship that Okada had many times over. I am going to pick them to win this match and keep the dissension going because I think that's where the storyline is. I hope this doesn't mean the end for Brodito. Is Bandito hurt more than we think? I don't know. And if they lose, do they just break up as a team? I don't know the answer, but I am picking the Don Callis family to bring back some more gold to the family.
Yeah, I'm also picking the Don Callis family to get the victory. I don't think Brodito will split up quite yet after this match if they do lose. I think they'll run with it a little bit. Again, I will preface this with whatever happens with that shoulder with Bandito. Maybe they're working us for all we know, and I wouldn't put it past them, but I'd like to see Brodito continue. I think that's a good duo that they've got there, and they've got some good chemistry, but I think everything is kind of aligned here for the Don Callis family to pick up those titles and continue with the belts into a story with Okada and Takeshita. So I'm also picking the Don Callis family.
Do you think Konosuke Takeshita is the male version of Mercedes Moné with going to have all the belts?
Ooh, that's an interesting proposition.
IWGP, he'll have the tag team. We're coming up to the Continental Classic, which I kind of feel like that might be his tournament, and then get the shot at Okada. So I think that's a possibility. That doesn't talk a lot, but you won't have to with all the belts and what people see in the ring.
The belts will do the talking, Lee.
Yeah. So interesting. I think we are going to have new tag team champions. I don't think we've differed on a pick yet. Let's see if
the only one we've really kind of differed is potentially the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express match.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. First of all, what do you think main events?
They generally like to go with the World Championship as the main event. So I think they'll continue on that tradition with Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe as the main event. The only time I would see if it would be Darby Allin and Jon Moxley main eventing is if they made it a lights out match, so that they could technically say that Adam Page and Samoa Joe was the main event in the sanctioned matches, while Darby Allin and Jon Moxley was the final match and it was unsanctioned and all this stuff.
So, but my guess here is that even though I don't necessarily agree, I don't think so. So I think Moxley and Darby will main event.
Okay.
My reasoning is quite simple. I think they're going to leave that ring in absolute shreds, kind of like when Darby and Christian fought in Seattle was that at WrestleDream as well? Yeah.
Yep.
They main evented because the ring was torn up. I think this ring is going to be torn up again. I think that. So let's talk about Hangman and Samoa Joe. I'd be shocked if Joe won the title. I'd love it because I think, I like Joe and I like Hangman, and they're going to give another title run to Joe and make it even better than the first one, then I'm in. But I don't think they are.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I would love to see it. I'd love to hear more Samoa Joe promos. I would love to see more feuds start just from bumping the guy the wrong way, leaving the ring, saying, tough guy, you think you're so tough? Let's have a match and settle this, tough guy? Love that kind of stuff coming from Samoa Joe. They didn't really do much on Dynamite this past week to kind of elevate the feud. It was just really Adam Page on commentary. But
he shoved the belt in his chest the way that Joe or the way that Hangman shoved the trios belt in his.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Oh, you think you're so tough, huh? Yeah. Give that right back to you, huh?
So do you not think though that they didn't do a big lead up on Dynamite because it won't main event?
Potentially. Yeah, I still feel like I'm gonna stick with the tradition here, and you know what? I've already got one of the good things of having the reputation not being great with picks is that I could just go. I could really shoot for the moon here, or
it doesn't matter if you're wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because
all the time.
It's the gimmick, right? So you know what? This is a great gimmick I've actually put together here. So there's really not not really a lose-lose here because I could just say it's part of the gimmick. You know what you're getting from me. So I'm going to say that Hangman and Samoa Joe will main event.
Yeah, I don't think so because they haven't done that much. I don't think anybody would expect Joe to win. I'm a big world title as the main event guy, but I think they're pushing Darby more. Like Darby's the one on all these interviews. I said in the last podcast, if you haven't gone back and listened to Darby on Ariel Helwani, he was terrific. It does seem like they're featuring Darby Allin a lot in this company. And I think that there's different answers to who's going to win that match. I think there's a lot of wonderment in how they're going to get there. So I just don't think there's a lot in that Hangman Joe match other than I think it'll be the best match on the card. As a wrestling match with two guys that I like, I think it'll be really good. But I completely expect Hangman Page to win and retain the title.
Yep.
So let's talk about Darby and Jon Moxley. And what they've done to each other so far has been, quite frankly, pretty disgusting.
Yes, to say the least.
So now they're going into an I Quit match. I'll first ask you, do you think either of the competitors actually say I quit?
Are you throwing out the idea of that Rock and Mankind match where they played an audio tape of somebody saying I quit?
No.
That would be a finish. After all of that, like a literal Molotov cocktail a couple of weeks ago. That would be the finish. Is somebody takes a clip of a promo and then plays it over the intercom or the PA, and the referee confuses that with an I quit finish.
So I'm not referencing that.
No,
it's a good callback. No, wasn't doing that.
Okay.
So if I had to ask you, do either of the guys actually say the words "I quit"?
Great question. I think Jon Moxley will say I quit.
Okay.
I can't see Darby Allin saying I quit. But I can buy into it as like certain circumstances Moxley saying I quit.
So I can't see Darby saying it either.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. The guy just climbed Mount Everest
Yes.
and saw dead bodies up and dead bodies coming down. And with all of the things that he's ever done and going through the glass. And so, but obviously there are ways that Darby Allin could lose this match without actually saying the words. So somebody could come in and do the old towel throw or step in for him. Either competitor could be choked out and laying unconscious. And so it gives them a little bit, because I know you love this, it gives them a little bit of their heat back where they never really said I quit, even though they were unconscious.
Right.
At the end of the match, they can come back on Dynamite, especially Moxley, and go, well, I never said it.
Yeah. Right. Well, but Lee, we already got heat. We got flamethrowers. We've got Molotov cocktails. Like we've literal fire.
But I am asking you, they've like done the fork to the ear, right?
Yep.
Like ripping Darby's ear. Moxley's getting his head ripped open. Like, what are the expectations for this match? To me, they're like, I don't even know what they are. I feel like I'm going to be grossed out, and I feel like they're going to go to new heights with this one. And I don't really like, there's a little bit of intrigue and there's a little bit of fear as a fan going, I have no idea where they're going to go. I'm probably going to be grossed out, but I'm really intrigued to see how they get to a finish in a match where nobody's probably going to say it. Like, and the other thing is to remind me how Hangman won the title.
By choking Jon Moxley over the top rope, essentially hanging him over the top rope.
Right. But did Jon Moxley quit?
He did not say I quit. I don't remember if he tapped or not.
Pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he was rendered unconscious, and that's how Hangman won. I think he actually did tap out.
Yep.
So he quit. Is he going to quit again? And would you be okay with a non-finish? Like neither guy said it, and it just got so disgusting that like either guy could continue, and it actually sets another matchup. Or does this need to be the blow off for this?
Well, it's funny because I thought the casket match would have been the blow off last show, but the way that this feud is gone, even if this was an I quit match, if there is that sort of thought of maybe this isn't even the last match either on this one.
I agree.
And so it's tough. It's tough for me.
I think there could be some sort of, like, I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe they didn't do dog collar with Briscoe and MJF because they were waiting for Darby Allin and Jon Moxley as the blow off to it. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's going to be the blow off, which then makes me think that I might get a non-finish or somebody being rendered unconscious that didn't actually say I quit. That somebody's probably going to be John Moxley to me.
Yep.
As Moxley beat Darby Allin in the casket match, which was a surprise. So I'm guessing Darby gets his win back. But I don't know. If this isn't the end, then maybe Darby loses again.
Yep.
And needs a final one. But where they're going to go with this one, I'm intrigued and fearful.
Yeah.
I really am.
So you're not imagining either guy, because it's in St. Louis, you don't imagine seeing each guy wearing a St. Louis Blues jersey while they're fighting each other in this I Quit match. No? Have a hockey stick as well, maybe, and just beat each other with a hockey stick?
Somebody coming out just with a Chicago Cubs jersey, and we make the Cardinals quit all the time.
Boo! Boo! You want to talk about heat, brother? That's heat. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No wonder the St. Louis Rams left this town. Boo!
Come out with a Rams jersey and then just leave and say, I'm going to quit just like they did.
That's right. Yeah, Kurt Warner sucks. That's what I think. Boo!
I do think we're going to get a non-finish finish. That's my prediction for this match. I do
a non-finish finish.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think nobody will say I quit. That's going to be my prediction.
And the match just keeps on going and going, and
no, it'll end with somebody being unconscious or
gotcha.
somebody getting their heat back, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it will not be the end of the feud, and it will be. I think Darby Allin wins, but I don't think it's a lock. Again, there's a bigger conversation. Maybe we'll have it on a different show. I think it's hard for you to listen to Darby Allin, and he's done the rounds. Like he was on, I think he was on Busted Open. He was on Ariel Helwani. He's doing like the major interviews.
Yep.
There's absolutely a thought that when you listen to him, you're like, that's the main guy of the company. That is the guy. I don't know if people want to hear that or they would disagree, go, no, he can't be the guy. I'm telling you, when a guy climbs Mount Everest and his sole purpose is like, he waves the AEW flag and there's nothing disingenuous about this guy saying that he would do anything for AEW. Like Darby Allin's never going anywhere else.
No.
He's just not. And you don't even have to ask him if he's going to go somewhere else. He just won't. And you know it when you listen to him. And they're, to me, the best, and his name's been brought up a lot of the last little while in another company, is Seth Rollins. Like Seth Rollins is the guy that people have talked about now for the last couple of months going, we don't really know who he is because his character as the visionary of the group and like what he does isn't him at all. Like there's no, what's his name again? Colby.
Lopez? Is his name's Colby Lopez?
Yeah. There's like none of Colby Lopez in Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring this up is because people have kind of said, like, we can't really connect. Well, I think there's a lot of Adam Page in Adam Page. And you only have to go and read about and hear Darby's story and what he's done and listen to him talk to go like there's not even 1% that's not Darby Allin. It's just him out there wrestling. Not even like turned up. That's just him.
Yep.
And I think if you have somebody that's that genuine, that carries the weight of the company as his highest priority, I think it's not going to be very long before Darby Allin is the guy. And he'd even tell you, I don't want the belt. I don't need the belt. I'm not in it for championships. he said on that podcast that being in front of 81,000 people didn't do it for him. Like it didn't make him like different because he just wants to be like that all the time. So he said he was like that. It was just kind of like another day, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Because it's just another step in the building process of being there. So I don't know whether Darby wins this match. I am going to pick him in this match. I don't know whether he wins, but I do think if he doesn't win, there's another match with Jon Moxley, and he's going to be at the very top very soon. So I'm picking Darby Allin to kind of do something to Jon Moxley that will render Moxley incapable of continuing, and he will not say, I quit. What about you?
I'm going to pick Darby Allin as well to be the victor here, only because I'm having a tough time trying to figure out how they continue this feud afterwards from an I quit match. And while it would be very humorous of them to play somebody saying I quit over the speakers at the arena in St. Louis, I don't think that is going to be the case. And I just can't see Darby Allin saying I quit. So I'm going to pick him as the winner.
I'm a little bit disappointed in this WrestleDream card as far as other AEW pay-per-views, but usually when we get to the pay-per-view itself and we sit down and watch, we go, that was a pretty good pay-per-view.
Yeah, these AEW pay-per-views are usually pretty good.
Yeah, they are. So, but this is a card that I'm not as jacked about as I've been with the other AEW pay-per-view cards. So, we'll wait and see.
We shall.
But looking forward to it nonetheless. We've had a busy week. We had a good show earlier in the week, and now WrestleDream, and we'll have to get together right after this is done to look back at WrestleDream and all of your wrong predictions,
which is really only one that differs from you. Yeah. So you're going down with me.
Everything rides on Luchasaurus.
Yeah, great. Jack Perry again. I gotta rely on. Jeez.
Well, you don't. You didn't pick them.
All right. I picked the Young Bucks. Usually the Young Bucks are a good pick, but
we'll see. But everything rides on Jack Perry
again. Just how it's supposed to be.
It all works out exactly the way
he should be thankful. He should be thankful. I like singing his song.
I like it too.
Yeah,
Baltimore. I've always loved it.
Yeah.
And so it was a good. When they came back, the crowd was really into it, and you can tell how much that meant to them. Well, we'll see if they can follow it up.
Yep.
Well, enjoy WrestleDream. This has been a fun week, and we'll gather again soon, Zach McGibbon.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to that. And a lot happening in the world of wrestling. Glad we were able to cover it this week.
For Zach McGibbon, I'm Lee Versage. Thanks again for listening to our WrestleDream AEW preview on This Is Wrestling.